This is Valley News Live at 10.
Homophobic and hateful. That is what NDSU's president David Cook is calling recent comments made by a group called North Dakota Young Republicans.
Media reports show them using slurs as well as anti-Semitic tropes in a group text. Valley News Team's Nishay Taylor shows us how students are reacting.
It has come to my attention that some members of our community made comments on a private social media site that were homophobic and hateful.
NDSU President David Cook addressed students Tuesday through a video message expressing support for the LGBTQ+ community following the release of the derogatory comments made in a private messaging group.
While the comments are protected free speech, I want to reaffirm that NDSU values a community that is inclusive and collegial, and those comments are not reflective of our NDSU values.
And some students say they are proud of the president for taking a stand.
I was very happy to see that he was actually addressing the issue, not just letting it slide over.
Really reassuring. Just glad that I go to a school that stands up for LGBTQ+ community.
They also say those hateful comments could be taking away from the school's mission of being inclusive. But they say keeping the conversation of equity going is necessary.
I definitely think that addressing them is actually keeping them relevant. And it's becoming more and more of a push to provide that equality that should have already been there.
While there is a difference of opinions regarding the LGBTQ+ community, some students say acceptance of everyone's individual beliefs is important.
And they have a right to their opinion, whether it's right or wrong, and I wish that they would validate, our opinions as well and kind of treat us as equals.
And President Cook leaves students with this message as he encourages everyone to have respect for each other.
I urge you to support one another, listen, learn from one another, and make the NDSU community a better place for everyone.
In Fargo, Nishay Taylor, Valley News Live.
We reached out to North Dakota Young Republicans. We haven't heard back. The group is a professional arm of the Young Republicans National Federation and the NDGOP, which has said also they flatly condemn the offensive statements that the group made.
Minnesota Republican candidate for governor Dr. Scott Jensen put out a new video today doubling down on recent claims comparing COVID-19 mask mandates to Nazi Germany.
I want to speak to a little bit of a hubbub that's been in the media lately about whether or not I was insensitive in regards to the Holocaust. I don't believe I was. I was making a comparison between the incremental change that frequently occurs and is oftentimes missed by people living through it at the time. I think it's a legitimate comparison. It may not strike your fancy, that's fine, but this is how I think.
Jensen is running against Democratic incumbent Governor Tim Walz in the November election.
Also new tonight, South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem's opponent in November is calling for a special prosecutor to investigate her. This comes after Government Accountability Board decided to refer a complaint to the Attorney General's office about whether Noem used a state airplane for personal use. There's also a complaint that she intervened in her daughter's application for a real estate appraiser license. The Republican is up for re-election in November.
All right, time to switch gears now and take a look outside. We have some rain moving through, especially in the northern valley. First Alert Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson joins us with the details. Hutch.
Thanks so much, Justin, and good evening, everyone. Number one question many in the Fargo area have is, are we going to see rain? Well, there's a chance, but the best chance is up to the north. You can see the thunder and the lightning really starting to become a little less widespread as we head into the late evening hours. There's a cluster of thunder in the Kittson County area, some exiting the Devil's Lake Basin. Let's get you into the latest activity moving into Grand Forks right now, that line of thunderstorms. And I want to point out that these are moving to the south and to the east. So these are moving into Grand Forks. These have a chance as they cross the Highway 200 corridor to make their way down, but will they make it? More on that in a second. Right now, let's talk about this. This is an outflow boundary. It's a gust of wind, a burp of wind working its way through Reynolds right now. You may notice that switch to a gusty northwest wind, upwards of 30 to 40 miles per hour. The intensity of these storms, by and large, diminishing quite a bit as these approach the Grand Forks Airport right now and are going to be moving their way by 10:07 into Grand Forks Reynolds by 10:26. Now, we do have some storms up here in northwest portions of Minnesota. These Highway 200 are about 60 miles away from Fargo. That's 2 hours away about. So about that midnight hour will be the best chance if we get anything at all. Strong storms leading edge here, but it's followed up by a long period of heavy rain behind it in northwest Minnesota. Rainfall amounts over 2 inches will be possible for some. Tonight, temperatures will continue to dip and dive, but only into the 60s for most of us. Again, midnight showers a possibility here, but not as heavy as our northern neighbors. We'll track these storms. We'll have your hour-by-hour forecast details on a cooler close to our work week here in just a moment.
Sounds good. Thanks, Hutch.
Happening tomorrow, 28-year-old Michael Yusa will be back in court. He's accused of attempted murder, aggravated assault, and reckless endangerment. Police say he's responsible for a 25-minute crime spree on July 19th involving a hit-and-run crash that left a man in critical condition, shots fired from a South Side apartment balcony, and shots fired at police. You can count on Valley News Live for all the updates from tomorrow's preliminary hearing.
We now know the name of the man arrested this morning during a high-risk search warrant. Police say 19-year-old Anthony KK was wanted for shots fired on August 6th near McCormick Park. KK is currently in the Cass County Jail on an aggravated reckless endangerment charge. That standoff today happened around 6:40 this morning at an apartment building, the 2200 block of 6th Avenue South. The Red River Valley SWAT team was called in to help with police.
Now to a story that came in through our whistleblower hotline. Local jewelry store employees say they've seen an alarming spike in fake gold, saying many people are buying what they think is gold from people outside gas stations that are asking for money, but the jewelry is fake.
This was kind of a bad one because it was his anniversary. So they said, we'll give you this great big gold chain too. So he was thinking, oh, I'm going to get something nice for my wife. So he went and got him $1,000 cash. And he brought it in thinking, oh gosh, I hope I did something good. He was trying to be a good Samaritan. And in the process, he got ripped off.
Be alert. Leaders of Mindat Gold and Silver say they've been seeing 5 to 10 people coming in every week with fake jewelry. And if you need help with an issue in your community, call our whistleblower hotline. The number's on your screen, 701-369-3187. Leave us your tip and we'll do our best to get to the bottom of it.
A Cannon Falls man has been charged with DWI after investigators say he drove a bus carrying 35 young boys while drunk. The bus was taking the kids from a YMCA group to a camp in northern Minnesota. Authorities say the incident happened Sunday morning. Someone flagged the bus for veering from shoulder to shoulder on I-35. Police say 49-year-old Patrick Bullard failed all sobriety tests. He blew a .257. The parents of the Proctor, Minnesota high school football player who was sexually assaulted by a teammate last fall have now filed a lawsuit against the district, coaches, and the superintendent, claiming they all failed to stop a known hazing practice. Alec John Bainey was 17 at the time, was charged with assaulting a then 15-year-old teammate with a plunger with the help of others. He pleaded guilty to third-degree criminal sexual conduct back in May. Parents say school knew about it but didn't stop it. They're seeking $75,000 in damages.
Today, Sanford Health broke ground on a state-of-the-art Sanford Virtual Care Center that aims to change the way care is delivered in rural America. It'll serve as a hub for virtual clinics and telehealth services. Construction is planned to begin immediately. Doors will open in 2024. The center will boast the latest telemedicine technology, on-demand urgent care, behavioral health care, as well as innovation and research initiatives. As several businesses continue to close throughout the Northern Valley, one new facility says it's here to stay, turning a former grocery store into an indoor sports and games complex. It's a practice spot for aspiring athletes, a hangout for kids, and an indoor playground for adults needing to blow off some steam. It's called Play It, and the manager says he's also hoping to work with local schools to keep kids active and encourage them to try something new.
The community needed it. If you can't get out and do something fun, you're just going to sit at home and sit on your phone. And I think something like this will help get kids out and to get them active.
If you are interested in checking it out, now might be a good time to do so. This week, Play It is offering free use of most of the facility and half-off pricing on batting cages and golf simulators.
A Fargo artist is showcasing her work across the metro and now across several states. Lauren Starling got started in 2017 and has worked with businesses in Fargo, the cities, Sioux Falls, where she just wrapped up painting most of the entire first level of the original Super Mario Brothers game. That's it right here. She says her favorite part of doing artwork is seeing how other people get excited for her work while she's working on these murals.
Yeah, people get really excited. They're like, people will tell me like, oh, I pass by this wall, alleyway, whatever every day and it's boring and it needs something. And then they get excited when they finally see, like, I like seeing the excitement of like people wondering what is it gonna be.
Lauren says that smaller Mario version, the Mario Wall in Fargo, was the project that really leveled up her business.